welcome to my first ever speed build. Today I am creating an unfurnished home, but it is slightly decorated, painted, landscaped, all of that sort of jazz, because I wanted to do a little mini series in anticipation of the new Sims 4 expansion pack growing together. It's a generational based Sims pack, and I thought what better way to celebrate than to create some unfurnished homes with a few packs that I think would work really well together with the new pack that's about to come out. So this is our first home of the series, and I decided to make a traditional style family suburban home. Originally I was taking inspiration to the traditional blue suburban home, however it ended up not being blue, but we will dub it the pretend blue suburban. For this build I wanted it to just be super traditional, a few bedrooms, few bathrooms, open plan living, almost a renovated style home that maybe a family had bought and they decided to raise the home, or they added a few extra rooms, or they might have just bought it straight how it is. I wanted to sort of get inspiration from a few homes around where I live in Australia. I live in the state of Queensland, and this home is very, very common in my state and specifically in my city as well. So I wanted to draw inspiration from the traditional aspects of a traditional Queenslander home, but also tying in a few modern twists into some of the windows and some of the floor plan parts as well. So right now this is where I was thinking, okay, let's do a traditional blue suburban, and obviously it decided to change dramatically. I like putting the get together posts around the home, almost adding just that little slight detail to the paint. I don't like the Sims 4 paint that has the inbuilt pillars because I don't think it works very well. It's very buggy and some of the corners don't get filled, so I think just doing the flat base VJ style boards on the outside of the house and then just putting in the pillars yourself makes the home look so much nicer, and also just keeps that consistency of color and also the consistency of style as well. I wanted to add in the high school years vines to the outside of the home, but it just wasn't quite working, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just add them in later. I'm going to finish the sort of rooms and finish the whole layout, and then once we put the windows in we might be able to fit one or two in. So the packs that I have chosen for this home includes base game obviously, then high school years and get together as the expansion packs. We've got the game pack Parenthood and the stuff pack Backyard. I also added in the Desert Luxe open plan doors for the downstairs, which you will see in a little bit. So that's the only kit that I have used, but obviously some of these things are only featured a couple of times, so it can be switched out to fully base game. I thought these packs worked really well with the new pack that's coming out, specifically high school years and Parenthood. They will tie nicely. Get Together is just a really nice pack overall, so I think that for this style of home I really wanted to use the glass and a lot of the fencing for it as well. Same with Backyard. That fence, that white picket traditional fence, is literally my favorite backyard fence to use. That included in this build as well. So yes, a couple of different packs, but it's obviously not every single pack in the game because it isn't a furnished home, so it's pretty easy to switch out a couple of things. It is almost like a shell, but I've basically done the hard work for you. I've done the floor plan, the doors, the windows, the roofing, all of that, and all you need to do is just download it and put some furniture in and start playing. Landscaping is one of my favorite things in this game. I know a lot of people don't enjoy doing landscaping, but I find what I do in this build is fairly common to most of the builds that I put in The Sims. It's very simple. I keep the colors to basically just greens and whites, unless I'm doing some crazy build where I need to put the landscaping in the colorway. So I've just placed some trees. That's going to be where my general gist of where my flower beds and my planting beds are going to be. And then we moved on into the interior and trying to work out this floor plan. Now, floor plan's pretty basic. I've done the simple sort of cutouts and bump outs space on the outside, so it's basically just a glorified rectangle. A lot of the rooms kind of make themselves, but upstairs was a little bit of a struggle for me. I wanted to try and fit 3 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms that were comfortably around the same size, specifically the downstairs bedroom at the front there. I wanted the upstairs bedroom to also be the same size, so if we had 2 kids or even 3 kids, the kids wouldn't like traditionally fight over which bedroom was bigger. Obviously that's more of just a gameplay situation, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I wanted to really try and keep it consistent because that would be how it would be in real life. So we were able to sort of do similar size rooms for most of the bedroom. The master bedroom is obviously the biggest with an ensuite as well. This little nook bit at the stairs I struggled with a little bit, but I just decided to make that a little study nook. Obviously you can make it whatever you want, but I thought a little desk there could be kind of nice. You could make it a room if you would like, but I decided to keep it open with just some half walls. So next up, I decided to choose my windows. So I like to put a wall at the front and just put all the types of windows that I'm thinking of using out, just to make sure that the colors and the styles work together. That high school years pack is a usable item, so Sims can climb out of that window. So I wanted to at least have one of those just to add a little bit of gameplay style potentially to your game, but obviously you can replace it with another window. Here are those doors that I was talking about before. I think it works really well. I imagine that this back part of the house was potentially added on, so it would be an extra spot. So it is a little bit more modern. The windows and doors that I use are a little bit more modern and still keeping that traditional style, but having it more open plan living and dining space. I wanted to add a bay window as well, very traditional to this style of home. So I wanted to include that as just a little nod to the homes in my area. So this next part, I really wanted to try and make this work, but unfortunately I was not able to make it work. It just wasn't really what I wanted it to be at the end of the day. The Sims wouldn't be able to actually climb out of the window even though it says that they can, but I had BB.move objects on and that's why. So I just decided to leave that high school window just at the front in the downstairs bedroom. But obviously if you would like to change that, you can. It's not limiting. You are able to change any of the window placements and obviously floor plan. Alright, so adding a little bit of details. So if you were to download this house, I would recommend downloading it with furniture on. Even though there's no furniture, there's a couple of different items that I've used throughout the build that will disappear if you do just unfurnished. So just keep that in mind when you are downloading this one, that you do just click furnish, make sure that everything's there, and then you can delete whatever you would like at the end. Obviously you can also do unfurnished if you would like as well and just completely start from scratch. I think keeping the flooring consistent throughout the home just makes it look a little bit nicer and flows really well. As well as this, making the stairs the same color as your flooring really just adds in that extra aspect of the build. Again, same thing with the bathrooms. I tend to keep it pretty consistent with the colorways and the theming around the bathrooms. That downstairs bathroom has enough space in it to have a comfortable, potentially shower bath combination, toilet, sink, mirror, and also potentially a laundry area if you do have the laundry day pack. As well as the master bedroom as well, that little nook bit, you could potentially turn that into a laundry spot as well if you wanted to add laundry into your game. It's not my favorite type of gameplay, but I know that some people really focus on that, and especially with the new Generations pack coming out, I think it would work really well with the whole gameplay style of the home. So choosing the door was a little bit easy. I just decided to go with this traditional sort of door that we got in an update. And then I'm just placing some flower beds around the downstairs windows. Again, I just think it's like a cute little touch to add to the home. And then we move on into landscaping. So this is my traditional style flower bed, garden bed, whatever you want to call it, style that I normally do with any of my builds. I tend to pick these ones for pretty much every single build, whether it's modern or traditional or whatever it may be. I tend to pick a larger bush, a couple of smaller medium bushes, and then a lot of ground cover, and just create almost an uneven flower bed. I don't normally put rocks or line it with anything. I just leave it quite bare because I think that these are like on the outside of the home. It's not necessarily manicured, it's just random, and I think it works really well. The greens, adding in the pop of the purple as well with those sort of lavender style plants, I think really added a nice touch to it as well. Just putting a little bit of dirt around the edges and anywhere that I think would need it, like the edge of the pathway. And I also put a little bush at the front there as well, just to sort of keep the facade nice, looking really nice. So here is the floor plan. So 1 bedroom downstairs, 1 bathroom downstairs, 2 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms, and obviously that study nook as well. It's available on the gallery now. My origin ID is just BweBoo, spelled exactly the same way as my YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a lovely day.